Hello again. This is Theolyn with the Bridge of Stars, bringing you some angel wisdom, encouraging you to look to the stars, the physical stars. You can look at those every night when it's not cloudy, and you can look to the stars in your heart because what is without is within, and the other way around. What is within is without, will become what is without. So whatever we do in our hearts and our minds at this time will have a profound changing effect on what unfolds. So that's a really key thing to remember. So the angel script character for today reflects that. Here comes Dalet, movement. I'm just going to move Dalet to a better position for you to see. Okay, so Dalet has 4 orbs of light, and it's like a rectangle, but one of those orbs is going off in another direction. So that's why it's to do with movement. Okay, so what is the angel wisdom concerning movement? Because most of us feel really stuck at this time. And there's a little box in my book, Angel Wisdom, and it says things are changing in your life, in our lives. The changes may be slow to develop, or things may change overnight. This virus made things change overnight. All of a sudden, nobody's going anywhere, the cities are empty, the shops are closed, and it seemed literally like it was overnight. Do not resist change. It is part of the natural process of life. And even if it is surprising, accept that it is for your good. If you allow changes to unfold in your life and work with them, you will find it easier to maintain your own strength and a sense of balance. Okay, so just look back at that character, because the characters always tell us something about their meaning through their shapes. The shapes are representative. I used to call them symbols, but they don't symbolize something because the symbol is just a representation. And although we could use the word represent, it's much more active than that. A character, which is the word I use for them nowadays, a character has the capacity to act. So something can happen because the configuration of the orbs of light and the lines of light change. And we can get involved with that process. That's what I teach in the Schaefer method. So, Dalet, movement. Think about that as the topic for the day. Okay, so in the last episode, I introduced you to my personal vision of Raphael, which might have been somewhat different from some that you've seen elsewhere. But an archangel that's less familiar to people is the archangel for Saturday. And as this is a recording set up for a Saturday edition, I don't know what day of the week it is that you're going to actually watch it, but for Saturday we have an archangel called Samael. So let me get my little magic support system for this archangel. So Samael is quite surprising because she's rather cool. And again, I would say she has a feminine energy, even though she's quite a stern cookie. So Samael is all about structures. I often think when I see Samael that we could look at the notion of water flowing, and at a certain point, if it gets cool and cold, it will freeze and we will get snowflakes. and they have their own beauty, and they are each one unique. But that is when water freezes and cools down. So that's a limitation on the flow. So when I teach Schaefer, we're always talking about the flow, and that we want to get the flow, as I say, Schaefer in Hebrew, or perhaps Ki in other languages, in other therapies. So that flowing light that penetrates and sustains all creation wants to flow. And every so often it comes against boundaries, blockages, if you like, limitations, and the flow is reduced, or the flow is inhibited. Now, Samael as an archangel is associated with the planet Saturn, the god Saturn, who in turn is associated with time. Saturn is like old father time. In Greek is chronos, which is where we get the word chronology from, associated with clocks. So when we're born into the world of time, there are natural limitations, essential boundaries that we have to incorporate into our lives. We have to accept the boundaries of time. And Samael as an archangel in medieval Kabbalah definitely had quite a bad reputation as a difficult character, and it often feels difficult when we come against boundaries, when we come across limitations. Just like now in this pandemic, we are being limited, and we are being limited for our own good, we are told. So Samael is a tester. Samael is an adversary. Samael is cosmic no. We'll have to come to cosmic yes a few days down the line. But she is like a stern mother. She says no, or a teacher who says no, you can't do it that way. You've got to do it this way, because she is guiding us into the best directions. So she's not someone to be feared, but somebody certainly to be respected. And we learn so much from limitations, discipline, focus, keeping your mind on the task, not drifting off. So she's setting up those boundaries for us. She's a very special character, Samael, and you just have to learn to love her. So that's Samael, and I'll be talking a lot more about Samael in the Path Working with Archangels free course, which starts next Monday, May the 4th. Okay. If you watch this later down the line, and it's already gone May the 4th, the content will still be available to you, and the YouTube's videos will still be up, so you can catch up with it at any time, actually. Now, what is the quotation from the Bridge of Stars? I found something lovely here. What have we got to do? And you know, my favourite expression at the moment is stay joyful. And then I came across this, let us live joyfully. This is from the Dhammapada, which is a very ancient text, very ancient Indian text, goes back possibly 500 years before the Common Era. So that's, 2,500 years ago. And it's so important right now. Let us form a community of love. That's happening, isn't it? It's beautiful. Let us live joyfully. Let us form a community of love in a world of hatred. Let us live without any kind of hatred. Let us form a community of spiritual health in a world full of illness. Let us live without any kind of spiritual disease. Let us live joyfully. Let us form a community of peace in a world full of rivalry. Let us live without any kind of rivalry. Let us live joyfully. Let us form a community which possesses nothing. Let us live on spiritual bliss, radiating spiritual life. So that's what I've got for you today. Live joyfully. I send you many blessings, and please take your time to send your blessings out into the world. Thank you, and I'll see you again very soon.